Hey guys, so I know I'm like living in this sweatshirt lately. It's just because it's really cold out, I swear. I have like different clothes on day to day under it. Even though it doesn't appear it by looking at the videos, I swear to God. But anyway, so I meant to do an update vlog on day 2 at my new job, and then I came home and I fell asleep because I had a night shift for the first time. And then last night was day 3, and same thing happened. I made the rookie mistake of I laid down, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I went to work that happened. This could have been, I could have sat around on my ass all day and laid down for 5 minutes and fallen asleep like that. It's just, if I lay down at night, period, it's all over for me. You'd think I would learn, hey, stupid, I know you have to shower as soon as you get home, but maybe as soon as you're out of the shower and after you've eaten your dinner, come vlog. Just a thought. So there's still, bear with me while I'm getting my bearings and getting a feel for things and getting into a new groove of when to record my vlogs. I swear I'm not abandoning you guys. I made the rookie mistake of laying down 2 nights in a row before I should have, and next thing I knew, I woke up, looked at the clock, and I thought it had been 5 minutes. No, now it's 5 a.m. Oops. Oops. So, okay, and then I was like, well, I have shit to do yesterday. So I went grocery shopping, came home, had lunch, watched the talk because it was all themed to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and next thing I knew, it was time to get ready for work again. So that's the only reason why I didn't just vlog yesterday in the morning before I went to work, but let me fill you in on days 2 and 3. So, thankfully, they both went smoother than day 1. Thank God. I still haven't done point again to where I'm the one dealing with the customers one-on-one, but that's okay. That's okay. This is giving me more time to build up confidence doing the other stuff in the meantime before I attempt that. So that's actually just fine. So day 2, nobody warned me, it was a fundraiser day. My second day there, and we're working a fucking fundraiser. Awesome. But that's okay. The first 2 hours I was there, I was just watching training videos. Granted, he only meant to have me do it for the first hour, and he thought I'd get through like 5 or 6 of them in that hour. He didn't know that the online portal thing has like a bunch more steps to it now that it didn't used to have, even as recently as 1 week ago. They just changed it. I showed up at just the right time, didn't I? Huh. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's not hard or anything. It's time consuming is the main thing, and then people are looking at me like somehow it's my fault. I'm like, dude, no, it's the thing. I show them, they're like, oh wow, yeah, that is different. Okay. But, so day 2, spent the first 2 hours in the back watching those. In the middle of watching those, I mean, they were like really, really basic bitch ones. But, people are coming in and out of the back room. And one of them's like, oh god, those training videos, I couldn't stand those fucking videos. And I'm like, yeah, they're pretty boring, but it's been so long since I've had to, like, sit here and, like, memorize and learn stuff for school that I kinda don't mind that much. The guy looks at me for a minute, he's like, how old are you, 18? I'm like, higher. He's like, oh, 20 then. Higher. 22. Higher. 24. There's no way you're 24. I'm like, honey, we're gonna be here all day. I'm 35. He's like, what? I was like, I'll get my ID right now and show you. And apparently, word spread very quickly, and several people came back and were like, they look at me for a second, how old are you? It's just like, venture to take a guess, and we went through this whole rigmarole like 3, 4, 5 times with different people. Every single one were like, you're lying. You're lying. I'm like, first off, why would I lie about being 35? That's not a cool age to be. If I were gonna lie, I'd say 26 just because that's a good age. But no, there's nothing cool about 35. Even less cool about the fact that I'm like 2 months away from 36. So, but still, like, one of them, she's looking at my ID card, she's like, I bet you get carded a lot. I'm like, honey, I get carded for shit that does not require being carded. So yeah, it happens a lot. Oh god, it was funny though, but they're just like, wow, you just look and sound so young for your age. I was like, yeah, I keep being told that it'll come in handy one day when, you know, I'll be like 70 and look like I'm maybe 40, but anyway. So, regardless, the same girl who's like, I bet you get carded a lot. She's like, wait a minute, how tall are you? 4'11". Come here, come here. She's like me. She's like, I'm taller than someone I'm taller than. And she got so excited. I'm like, I've lived this moment with people I was like this much taller. I understand the feeling, so I couldn't even get butthurt about it. I was just happy for her to be that excited because I know that feeling. But regardless, so okay. Regardless, so far every single coworker, knock word, every single one has been super duper nice. I actually look forward to going to work because everyone is so nice. But so that day, I think they just had me working the dough machine the whole rest of that shift, which, fine by me. Trying to remember, did I do online though that day? I think I took over somebody to do one pizza in the online order section, and then went right back to doing the crusts over and over and over and over and over. I'm pretty good at them at this point. The little mini ones, it still takes me a couple tries to get them to just the right size, because there's like a thing on the bottom, you have to move the lever around to get it to the different settings, but there's not like markings on it, and there's no like little clunk spots in there to tell you where the right spots are, so it's literally just trial and error till you get it. But I mean, if you do it again, it'll get a little bigger, so you're not really supposed to, but I've seen so many other people do it there. I'm like, apparently this is just what you do, it's okay. But regardless, the bigger ones I can do first try just fine. No problem. It's just the little ones that they keep coming out like this much too small. They're supposed to go like 3 diamonds to the edge of the tray. I mean, it's like a whole thing. But regardless, so I've gotten pretty good at doing those and making them quickly to boot. So that was basically it for day 2. It wasn't too noteworthy or anything. But the manager felt so bad over what happened day 1 with my staying over because of my not knowing what the hell time it was, and nobody mentioning that, you know, my shift was nothing, that he brought in not 1, not 2, but 3 different clocks to put around the place to make absolutely sure there will never be a repeat of this. Sure wish I'd known that before I wasted $20 on a little carabiner clip watch to hook to my belt loops, but I mean, you know, between that and all the others, apparently there is no chance of my ever not knowing the time again, so that is fabulous. So, okay, and I think during that shift, as far as music goes, I think there was just like one Who song that I heard. I think it was Amazing Journey. I was like, cool, more Tommy. But everyone else there is too young to know this music. It's great, but I'm enjoying it. So day 3 was yesterday, and, well, actually before that, like, going back a little bit, like, one of the girls there was, like, talking about this time she went to Arizona, and her dad fell asleep at the wheel, and I'm like, no shit, to Arizona specifically. Let me tell you about my bus trip from last year, where exactly the same happened, but the bus driver fell asleep. It's just like, what are the freaking odds they'd be to the same spot to boot, and it was even in almost the same part of the road that they fell asleep in. It's like, oh my god. Anyway, so, regardless. So, day 3 was yesterday. This was my first Friday night working. I should have known it was going to be batshit insane busy, but like in a good way. I enjoyed it. Like everyone else bitch about it, I'm over here like I'm honestly enjoying all the action going on everywhere. And they're just like, okay, that'll probably wear off fast. And I'm like, maybe, but for right now, I'm loving it. So on this shift, I only spent a little bit of time at the beginning of the shift doing training videos. There's probably going to be a whole bunch of them real fast because it has like the due dates for all of them. It's like coming up on November 4th. They all have to have been watched and the tests on them passed by then, so that's fun. I don't know what happens if they're not done by that date. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for that because I'm just going by what he tells me to do. If there was a way for me to do them at home, I would, but I don't think there's a way to do that, so I just do them at work. But regardless, he had me do 2 of them yesterday, which still was an ordeal because every time I've gone to log into the damn thing, it tells me my password is incorrect, even though it is definitely not, but okay. So then I have to change it, and it takes about 50 fucking tries to find one that it'll go, oh yeah, that meets all our criteria, even though all of them that I've put in have met their damn criteria, but okay, that's fine. Whatevs. So I've gone way beyond my normal passwords I use for everything, and now I'm like, good lord, having to like make up new ones on the spot and pray like hell I remember them, because it's just like, dude, if it would just like remember one and actually take it at face value of what I put in to change it to, it works that day, but by the next day it's like, oh no, that's incorrect. I'm like, how the F do you figure it out? Whatever. So I did the 2 of those. He got me set up on the site that I'll be able to see my schedule on. Unfortunately for this coming week, he said, you still weren't in the system just yet, so I'm gonna have to like print out one manually and write you in for next week. So I guess on Sunday when I go in, he'll give me that. But after that, it should show up no problem. So thank goodness for that. I still need to ask him about the food servers card thing. I think it's the like safe serve thing. But again, I keep forgetting to ask, but so regardless, just saying, going through the training shit. After that, they showed me how to refill the drinks thing, which I thought they meant, like the fountains. No wonder the manager looked at me weird when I said that one of the girls wanted to show me how to do that. No, they meant the fridge in the front with like the sodas and the milks and the beers and the wines in it. Oh, that's easy shit. All I have to do is count, take inventory of what's there, what's needed, and then go back and get them. And if they say to swap something, okay, take these out, go get the ones that they said to get and put them in. Easy. But I was all smug as shit that the ones to be taken out yesterday were grape sodas. Which we all know my feelings on grapes. I was like, haha. But what were they replaced with? Dr. Peppers. And when I told this to my sister, she's like, oh, this is like your evil villain moment, isn't it? I'm like, it was, because obviously I couldn't say it out loud, but in my head I'm like, yes! And the irony, the Dr. Peppers were right next to the cream soda. I'm like, man, this looks like I designed this layout. That was great. I felt like such a damn alkie, though, when I went back to the stock room with the other girl they had showing me around, and she's like, I don't know where the beers and things live. I'm like, oh, the ones on this list? There, and there. And she's like, you've never even been to this part of the stock room. How did you find this? Oh, fucking alkie. Anyway, I found them, I got them, no problem. The milks, unfortunately, are on, like, the very, very, very top shelf of the fridge, which even the slightly taller girls, like, climb the damn shelves, which seems really unwise to do, but they're like, oh yeah, just go right up, it won't fall over, and I'm like, let me see you do it first. Okay. So after I saw, okay, and this was like a heavier set girl, was able to do it without it even wiggling, I was like, alright, fine. I'm not thrilled, I'm not doing it, but I'll do it if I have to, and down, done. Okay, fine, cool. So, I got those down, did the thing, and then I was told that I was on Doze again, but also on online orders, or OSO, I guess is what they call it. But they had another dude who was also on Doze, and I don't know if he's, like, newer than me or what the deal was, but I asked, you wanna, like, tap out and switch? He's like, I don't think it's a wise idea to switch partway through. I don't think Aaron would like that. I'm like, dude, he literally told me, okay, it's cool. You want to stay on Doze, you can stay on Doze. I'll stay over here, that's fine. But it's like, I, again, hope that they didn't view that as my shirking responsibility when this dude would, like, literally wouldn't let me touch the machine yesterday. Okay, whatever. I get the feeling, because I know, like, the first day, I was, like, so comfortable with just the dough machine, I was like, I'd much rather stay over here in this little corner and just do these rather than work on the actual pizzas. But, okay, so last night, we went assembly line style, working on assembling all these pizzas, and it was fine. Very much getting a feel for where everything lives, starting to get a feel for where the replacements of each ingredient lives in the stock room and in the fridges under the counters. Still have to hunt around a little, but I'm getting a better feel for it. But, so did so many of those. I mean, there were so many orders coming in to where the entire oven was filled, the entire table next to the oven was filled, the entire front of the workstations were filled because we were getting them done apparently a little too fast. We were keeping up with the demand, but the oven can only go so fast. And we actually had to, like, stop for a little bit because there was nowhere else to put them. Like, we ran out of room. But, it's cool. But I'm over here and I'm doing them, and it's just funny because, like, the manager was even like, okay, she's new, but beware, she is an artiste, so she's a perfectionist with how they look. And I'm just like, oh my god, how does he know that? Well, you are, aren't you? I mean, all the things you make. And I'm like thinking, did this dude stalk me online? That's hilarious. Well, yeah, I am. And they're watching. They're like, and this one guy's just like, hey, you've been here 6 months. She's been here 3 days. She's better at it than you. And I was just like, oh my god, I don't want anybody to feel bad just because I'm getting a very natural feel for it really quick. I mean, it's easy. Just, like, don't mound up the stuff on it. Try to keep it even, and, like, disperse the toppings evenly across it. Easy. Like, I don't think there's any, like, rocket science to this, but I'm looking at them and how they're doing it, and they're, like, overloading them, like, a lot. I'm like, even the training videos say not to do that. Maybe that's why it's, like, fresher in my brain how to do them correctly. I don't know, but regardless, I'm doing it naturally. And there's, like, one point when we ran out of rosemary, and the manager's getting the rosemary from the back, and one guy's just like, these people probably wouldn't even notice if there's no rosemary on. I'm like, yeah, they would. It's like, what are you, Italian? I'm like, yeah, Calabrese. And then, oh, okay, well, and I got very quiet. And next thing, he's just like, that's probably why it comes so naturally to you. Pizza's in your blood. It's just like, that's such a racist thing to say, but I'm not even offended. It's hilarious to me, but good thing I'm good-natured about it because, oh god, if I were one of, like, the social justice warriors, I could have gone off, but I don't care. But regardless, music stuff I heard last night that made my night. I heard 3 different Who songs, including Boris the Spider, which kind of bopped around singing along too, and the one Jamaican guy I work with, he's like, wow, you really like the music, don't you? I'm like, oh, yes I do, especially the Who. So I heard that. I heard Run Run Run, which was very surprising that they played that. I think that was off, like, their first album. It isn't one of the more talked about tracks. And The Real Me, which, hell yeah. Also heard the Beatles' Think for Yourself, which is a very unlikely choice, but I mean, that's like how Bad Boy was played the first day. I was like, wow, nobody plays that. Similar, nobody plays this one either. Huh, cool, I like it. Heard a Bowie, although with the Bowie ones, it seems like they do stick to the greatest hits. This one was just Space Oddity. Other noteworthy highlights included, Time Warp. I'm just like, hell yeah. There's a few other goodies too. It was just like, okay, I'm feeling it. But it's just funny that, like, the people were either, like, too young to even appreciate it, and I'm over here like, yes. But anyway, so we're doing all these pizzas, like, left and right. Somebody even newer than me there was somehow entrusted with olive oil. Needless to say, they got it all the hell over the floor. It was awful. Everybody kept almost falling in it. So I eventually had to make the executive decision, go to the back and get the mop and just try to clean this up, because I was like, that is a safety hazard. We can't have that. We've all almost fallen in this, like, numerous times now. So I'm trying to, like, maneuver between about, like, 15 people in, like, a fairly small space, trying to mop this up. That was fun. And also had to sweep twice because they were just making such a mess because they were flying so fast. There's toppings going all over the floor, and I'm like, oh my god. This was the first time I had to clean up there, so, and I was, like, cleaning down the countertops numerous times, both when I was asked and even just sometimes on my own accord, because it was kind of getting gross, honestly. Had to handle anchovies multiple times, and apparently you have to change the gloves every time. Oh god, I didn't know people actually ate those things, but apparently quite a few do, and I think I even said so, and they're like, oh yeah, you'd be shocked how many people eat those. I'm, like, inwardly going, but, I gotta, like, not judge. I have to, like, not show outward disgust. I mean, honestly, frankly, inwardly, I'm disgusted having to handle meat, period, but I'm, like, where I can bring myself to do it with the others, because at least they're cooked, and it feels a little less gross, but the fucking anchovies, they're slimy, and they just, sorry, okay, I couldn't let it out of my system there, but I can let it out of my system now. Okay, better now, so, oh god, anywho, so there was that, it was so busy, none of us got our breaks yesterday, but I mean, it was understandable. It just was so nonstop that, frankly, couldn't really hold it against them that I didn't get my 10-minute break, so I was like, okay, whatever. So, there was that. I'm off for Halloween, so hey. Although now I'm almost like, wow, it feels weird not working today, because I got so used to doing it. Now I'm like, I'm almost a little disappointed I don't have work to go to today. Who the fuck ever thought I would be in that boat? Now I'm like, is this what school felt like for most people who, like, had friends and, like, had a positive experience going to school? Like, they actually enjoyed going? I honestly thought that was just, like, a TV trope that kids like school, because I'm like, nobody likes school. Everybody fucking hates going to school. It's a chore. Now I'm like, wait, you mean if I've been accepted by my peers and not been bullied nonstop, I might have actually enjoyed going to school every day instead of, like, wanting to put a bullet in my head every single day? Wow. Wow. I had always, honestly, the thought of going to a daily job prior to this, I had figured, I'll probably hate it, but I'll suck it up because I want the money that badly. But no, I'm, like, genuinely enjoying this. I actually look forward to going. The one part that sucks isn't the work itself, it isn't any of the people there, because like I said, they're all super, super nice, and they're all really supportive and helpful. I love it there. The only part that sucks is just because of being on my feet nonstop, by the time I'm off my shift, my feet are throbbing so bad. Which is why I keep making the mistake of laying down when I get home, and next thing I know, I'm out like a light, and that's it for the night. So I will try and do better on Sunday, because I go to work at 10 in the morning again, instead of in the late afternoon, like the last 2 shifts have been. So, I think I'm off at 4 instead of 3 this time, but that's okay. It makes up for... Oh yeah, that was the other thing with Tuesday, was it slowed down so much, even with the fundraiser going on, they let me go half an hour early, which was weird. I didn't know that that was a thing that happens, but apparently that's a thing that happens sometimes. But, I think he gave me an extra hour Sunday to help make up for the lost time there, so I appreciate that. I very much appreciate that. So there's that. But yeah, the throbbing feet thing, oh my god. That gets better over time, right? Like, that isn't gonna be something that is just horribly painful every single time I leave work for, like, the rest of eternity, is it? My sister says, you get more used to it over time. I'm like, yeah, but does getting used to it mean that it lessens some, or that you just learn to tolerate it even though it's still very much happening? And she didn't really give me an answer, so I'm asking you guys, of people who've held jobs where you've had to stand on your feet the whole shift, does that feeling start going away, like, at all? I do have my new work shoes that I got. I'm trying to stretch them out a little, even though they're the correct size for me. Buying them online, I couldn't try them on. I would have gone half a size up if I'd known they'd be this tight. I don't have a shoehorn, sadly, so I'm trying to just, like, use random shit around my room, like, cram them down in there to, like, stretch them out just a little bit to break them in before my shift tomorrow, because I don't want blisters, but, like, on the right foot, it feels like my pinky toe is gonna be, like, rubbing against the side of it, and I can see where that'll be blister city if I'm not careful. And on the left one, it's more like where your foot goes up, like on the top of your foot, like the side of that, it rubs against tightly. So I'm trying to stretch both of them out today. I couldn't really find anything that's like the right size, other than like just balls of cotton yarn, which don't sound that hard, but I mean, That's the stuff that's like twine, so it'll hold its shape in there instead of smushing down like any other yarn that I own. So I crammed them down in there as far as I could to try to just force it even a little bit. Just a little tiny bit further would probably make all the difference in the world. I'm sure once they've been more and more, they will be broken in, but I was like, if I had more than like a day here to do this in, it'd probably be better since, again, don't have a shoehorn. It's one of those things that you never think of that you need until you're in the moment where you need it. And I've lived this moment several times. I don't know why I never buy one, but I never go through and get one. But even if I order one right now, it wouldn't help me for work tomorrow, so I'm just like, But at least these are way, like, non-slip grip on the bottom. They're squeaky, unfortunately, because of it, but at least I probably won't have to worry as much about potentially slipping and falling and cracking my head open on a slippery floor, which, you know, slight perk, but on the other hand, they're pretty tight, so I'm just like, on one hand, with that, I'm hoping it'll, like, because of the constriction, it might be like compression socks where because it's compressed, like, the blood doesn't pool as badly in them. Like, maybe that's why it's so tight. But just because of those pressure points and different spots on them, I am trying to stretch them up just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little to where hopefully there won't be blisters. Because that I could see as being, like, killer for me, having to then be on my feet. On blisters. Ooh. Yeah, I don't want that, so... Anyways. Any suggestions for stretching them out without a shoehorn would be greatly appreciated, especially if you could do it, like, today. Cause, yeah, I need to get those to a wearable point by tomorrow. I also got two of my my cloth masks in the mail yesterday right before I left for work. So unfortunately I didn't have time to wash them yesterday. So I washed the pink one today. It's air drying right now. I hit it with a blow dryer to help it along because it's cold out today. It's the sweatshirt. It's actually really cute. Even though it's just Barbie pink, it's like a solid print. It's really effing cute. I want to wear it tomorrow. I also have a black one, which honestly, when I ordered them, I was more excited about the black one, but now that I see them, I'm like, dude, this pink one is so effing cute! I didn't realize it'd be Barbie pink. I thought it was gonna be Pepto pink. It's so cute! So I've got that, and it's drying, and I'm looking forward to wearing it. Once it's drier, I can slap the filter into it, but while it's wet, I don't dare, because I don't want it to get mildewy or moldy. That would be tragic. So I have those for now. There's the ones that Kimberly ordered for me that still have yet to come, that are due any time now. And then, there's the ones I had custom made for me that have the monkeys, Back to the Future, and the Beatles on them, that I just got sent pictures of them today. They're all ready to go. The lady's shipping them today, so however long it takes them to get here from Canada, there's a thing. And she threw in 8 matching scrunchies. That's more than the number of masks I ordered, but she's like, honestly, I don't have time to sell these because I'm homeschooling my son, so would you just like all of them, even though a couple of them are dupes? I'm like, hell yeah, I'd love them! So I'm gonna have 8 monkeys scrunchies, hell yeah! So that's a thing. No Beatles ones, but that's okay. That's okay. So that's where that all stands at the moment. Update on the Etsy situation. Somehow, some way, the shop is still standing. Knock wood. And I'm starting to think, despite the number of cases opened, despite the number of negative reviews, maybe it is salvageable. So I went through, I started messaging people left and right. So many messages, like 7 or 8 pages of messages. Basically a copy-paste thing about this, effing long, explaining literally exactly what happened and why stuff didn't go out on time for so many people. And you'd be surprised how many people have been super chill about, okay, I do still want a refund, but I'll grant you the 2 or 3 weeks till you get your first paycheck to pay me back. I'm like, thank you. That takes such a load off my mind, because at least by then I can do it. But there's been a surprising number of people who are like, you know what? Pumpkins are still fine through November. If you can get it to me in like the next week or so, I still want the hat. No refund needed. And I'm like, This is restoring my faith in humanity. Like, but the two that really got me were the ones who were like, honey, you sound so stressed and I'm so sorry for everything you've been going through. Keep the money. Every little bit helps. Keep the money. You don't have to refund me. Don't need the hat. We'll call it even. I'm just like, I broke down in tears over those two. It's just like, there are still good people in the world. So it's just like, okay, if there's any Karens that pop up now, I think it's now at a level where I can field it. So, okay, this is doable. I can breathe again. So, I'm back on it with making the frickin' hats, but seeing about getting these out now, even in between work, that's okay. It's okay. It's still doable. Believe I can still do it. So, get those out. And if my shop survives, then cool. Don't know what grace of God helped me there, but I am not complaining. If it's saved, doesn't mean I'm going to quit my job, because like I said, I enjoy it, but at least I won't have to have such an insane, like, level of dedication to Etsy to where it's like, I can limit the number of things I'm selling a lot more easily when that's not my only income, you know? I mean, yeah, I make money off YouTube, but I mean, the main piece of income I was getting was from Etsy, so there's that. But now I also relisted so many of my items on eBay, so it's like, well, as long as I don't overwhelm myself here, this could be potentially a good thing, because if I sell on eBay, now I can sell internationally. I couldn't do that on Etsy because unless I take them to the post office personally and, like, fill out all the shit and, like, pay insane amounts for shipping, it's not happening. My post office is fucking stupid. They cannot handle the responsibility of shipping internationally. I've made this mistake twice with them. Never again. With eBay, you can ship to the International Global Shipping Center. They handle all of it for you. It's wonderful. They calculate the shipping, they add it to your listings if you opt into it. It's so wonderful. It's slow. It's so good. So, I've got various, what is the term I'm looking for here? Is it pokers in the fire? Irons in the fire. I've got various irons in the fire here. It's just like, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. I can breathe again. Awesome. So, there's that. But I will feel even better once the people who need refunds have all been paid off. Because then I will be able to, without guilt, spend my paychecks. Because for right now, at first, until those are all paid down, I'm not touching 1 red cent of that money myself. It's going entirely to paying back the people that need to be paid back. That is the first priority. That's the whole reason I took this job, was to initially make sure I have money coming in that I can pay those people with. So, there's that. After that, all bets are off. I'll probably go on a shopping spree, but a well-deserved one at that point. But depending on how much I earn in my paycheck, it may potentially take 2 pay periods, maybe. Maybe. I'm hoping I can do it in 1, but I did explain to people it could possibly take 2, but, like, absolute longest would be, like, about a month till you have your money back in your hand, but it should be more like 2 to 3 weeks, so should be okay. And people have been very understanding, thank God. Because I still feel horrible, like, everything that went down. So many things beyond my control happened. Goodness. But, seems like things are gonna be okay. So for that, I feel really good. Just, in general, things are looking up. I notice my depression seems to be non-existent at the moment, because I just feel so good going to, like, an actual, real job, being a productive member of society, and having people like me. Like, I know to you guys, it's like, well, we all like you do, but I'm not used to, like, in person having people be nice to my face. That sounds so depressing and sad, but I legit am not used to having so many people, much less, like, literally everybody in a place, be nice to me. And not like a phony nice, but like a genuine nice. I have never in my life experienced that. Like, even at home, I don't experience that. So, that to me, I'm like, this is legitimately the first place I've ever felt like I belong as part of something. It is such a nice feeling. It's so nice. So, definitely, even after I have everybody paid off, I'm staying at this job. I love it. I'm really happy with it, and I figure if everything happens for a reason, maybe the clusterfuck that happened with Etsy was to put the fire under me to do this thing that led me to exactly where I'm supposed to be. That's how I'm taking this. So, anyway, guys, that is it for this one. Sorry for talking your ear off. Like I said, I had 2 days to update on this time. I'm sure there will come a point where it's just like the same old, and it doesn't feel necessary to update daily on, but, you know, especially as I'm getting a feel for, like, being in the working world for the first time in my life, this is exciting for me, and I know for a lot of you guys, it's exciting for you watching me, like, make such a big life change and going on this journey and everything, and I'm more than happy to share it with you guys. So, anyways, that is it for this one. So as usual, you guys know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, maybe my Etsy. See, like I know, but like I said, when I know for sure whether or not it's staying up or going bye-bye, if it becomes clear that it's staying up, I think I will start adding the link back in. So maybe I don't have to train myself out of that outro after all. Everything and more, it's all down below. Make sure you're following those. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, until next time, bye-bye.